Welcome to another video of Food Nourish Deep Dives, the videocast of foodnourish.net, where we explore topics like health, food, supplements, and alternative approaches to health and wellness.
Okay, so when I say Seabuckthorn, what's the one thing that pops into your head? For pretty much everyone, it's this number. 14 times. Yeah, 14 times more vitamin C than an orange. It's a crazy stat, right? And that's what gets all the buzz. But what if I told you that the whole vitamin C thing, it's a bit of a magic trick? You know, it's the flashy thing the magician wants you to watch, while the real magic is happening somewhere else entirely. The vitamin C hype totally makes you miss this plant's true power. So yeah, let's dive into that. So where is the real magic? It's in this super rare fatty acid called omega-7. And get this, Seabuckthorn has more of it than any other plant on Earth. The best way to think about omega-7 is as a lipokine. That's a fancy word, but it just means it's a fat molecule that acts like a little messenger, zipping around your body and sending out signals to your tissues, basically yelling, hey, time to repair. All right, so here's the game plan. First, we're gonna bust that big superfood myth. Then we'll get into the difference between the fruit oil and the seed oil. This is huge. After that, we'll look at the actual science, and we'll wrap up with a practical guide so you know exactly what to do. Okay, let's tackle that misconception head on. The reason most people get Seabuckthorn wrong is because they're laser focused on just one thing, the vitamin C. But in reality, there are over 190 other bioactive nutrients in there, all working together. It's like you're not listening to a single violin, you're listening to an entire orchestra, and that's where the real power is. And that brings us to, honestly, the most important thing you'll learn today, a distinction that changes everything. You see, the oil that comes from the fruit's pulp is completely different from the oil that comes from the seed. I'm telling you, once you understand this, you'll never look at a bottle of Seabuckthorn oil the same way again. Okay, so what is the big difference? Well, first you have the fruit oil, or berry oil. It's that deep, rich, red-orange color, and it's loaded with that omega-7 we talked about. This is your go-to for surface repair. We're talking skin, dry eyes, dry mouth, that kind of thing. Then, on the other hand, you've got the seed oil. This one's a pale yellow, and it's full of omega-3 and 6 in a perfect 1-to-1 ratio. This oil works from the inside out for things like your heart and your immune system. And knowing this simple fact, it gives you all the power. Why? Because, let's be honest, a lot of supplement companies are happy to keep things, well, a little blurry. They'll just label it Seabuckthorn oil and hope you don't ask questions. But now, you know to ask. You know the difference. Okay, so we've established they're totally different. But what does the actual science say? What can these oils really do for us? Let's get into the proof. All right, first up, the fruit oil. That omega-7 powerhouse is just incredible for repairing mucous membranes. And if you're thinking, what are those? It's all the delicate, moist linings inside your body, your eyes, your mouth, even your digestive tract. The studies are pretty amazing, showing real results for tough conditions like Sjogren's syndrome, which causes painfully dry eyes, and even helping to soothe and heal the gut lining in cases of ulcers and GERD. And we're not talking about a tiny, insignificant amount here. One of the major clinical trials for dry eyes had people taking 2,000 milligrams a day. That's a serious dose. And the results? In just 3 months, they saw huge, measurable improvements. Less redness, less burning. It really worked. But wait, there's more. The fruit oil is also a rock star for your skin. You can take it internally or put it on topically, and its anti-inflammatory magic helps with just about everything. We're talking acne, rosacea, wound healing, even supporting collagen to fight aging. And the craziest part? It has a comedogenic rating of pretty much 0. That means, get this, it doesn't clog your pores. How cool is that? Okay, now let's flip over to the seed oil. This is all about what's happening inside your body. There was this huge meta-analysis that's basically a study of a bunch of other studies, and it found something really impressive. It showed that the seed oil can significantly lower the big 3 risk factors for heart disease: total cholesterol, the bad LDL cholesterol, and triglycerides. That's a massive win for heart health. You know, seeing all these proven benefits, you're probably wondering, okay, where can I actually find high-quality stuff? Well, a really great resource is foodnourish.net/deals. They've gathered all sorts of deals and discounts from top wellness brands. Think Perpetual Life, iHerb, Source Naturals, Nootropics Depot, Bioptimizers, the whole gang. It's a super helpful page, and of course you can find the link for that right in the description. All right, let's say you're on board. You're ready to give this a shot, so let's get down to brass tacks.
how do you actually use it, and what do you need to look for when you're shopping so you don't waste your money.
So here are the dosages that the science actually backs up. For just day-to-day health maintenance, a complete blend of both oils, somewhere between 500 and 1,000 milligrams, is perfect. But if you're targeting something specific, like we talked about with dry eyes, you need that heavy-hitting 2,000 milligram dose of just the fruit oil. And for heart health, the studies point to about 0.75 milliliters of the seed oil each day. The bottom line here is crystal clear. You've got to match the right oil and the right dose to your goal. Now, for that skin routine, it's super simple. But I have to give you a heads up, a really important one. The pure fruit oil is this incredibly bright, deep orange color, and it will stain things. I'm talking your face, your hands, your nice white pillowcases. But don't worry, the fix is easy. Just mix 2 or 3 drops into a carrier oil, like jojoba or squalene, before you put it on. And maybe, just maybe, use a dark pillowcase for a bit, just in case. Okay, now listen up, because this next part is maybe the single most important factor for quality. It is non-negotiable. I'm talking about the extraction method. You have to look for supercritical CO2 extraction. It sounds super scientific, but all it means is they get the oil out without using high heat or nasty chemical solvents. This protects all those fragile, precious nutrients, especially the omega-7, and makes sure you're getting a pure, clean product. So I'm going to make this super easy for you. Here's your buying checklist. 5 simple questions to ask when you're looking at a bottle. 1. Does it tell you if it's fruit oil, seed oil, or a blend? 2. Does it list the omega-7 percentage? 3. Does it mention that CO2 extraction method? 4. Does it come from the Himalayas or Tibet? That's where the best stuff grows. And 5. Is it certified organic? If you can tick all 5 of those boxes, you've got a winner. Let's boil it down even further. Here's what to avoid. Any bottle that just says Seabuckthorn oil with no details. If a company isn't shouting from the rooftops about their extraction method or their sourcing, that's a huge red flag. What you want to choose are the brands that are totally transparent. They'll clearly label it fruit oil or seed oil and give you all those important details right up front. So if there's one thing you walk away with today, it's this. Seabuckthorn isn't just another supplement you pop. Think of it more like a specialized repair kit for your body. It's literally providing the raw materials, the building blocks your body needs to fix your skin, your internal linings, even your heart. So the question really isn't if you should take it anymore. The real question is, which part of this incredible plant does your body need most right now? And that's a wrap on our deep dive. We really hope you feel empowered now to use Seabuckthorn the right way and to find a product that's actually going to do what you want it to do. For even more detail, you can find a link to our full resource article right there in the description. Hey, if this was helpful for you, do us a huge favor and hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow and lets us keep making these deep dives for you. And of course, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on the next one. Thanks so much for tuning in.